24/7 Kansas City Sports. I'm your host, as always, Miles Dawkins. Today I am joined by Kansas City Royals GM, living from 510. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing great. How you doing?
Doing great like Tony the Tiger. That's all well and good. I hope you got a big bowl of Frosted Flakes because you're going to need it for the day because I'm going to get into you. Last time we talked, you guys were in Oakland taking on the A's. Tell me how you thought that series went for you.
It was a huge disappointment. Going back home, seeing all the friends, and buying all those tickets, the $5 a ticket. I expected us to perform a little bit better, but we only won 1 out of 3 games, and it was close. If we had scored more runs offensively, maybe we could have snuck away with some of those wins. But Josh Reddick had a great series as well as Cespedes, so it was unfortunate, but we just got to move on.
Yes, Cespedes and J.J. Reddick, those were the keys to that series. But let's jump into Game 3 of that same series. You guys tied it up in the 9th. You sent it to extra innings. But in the 10th, Hollins gives up a big run, and that seals the deal. Are you guys planning on making any types of moves before the All-Star break or before the trading deadline?
We are open to any suggestions at this point from other teams. We have had, as it's well documented, a lot of problems with the bullpen, and this is kind of the time of the year where people who don't have very high aspirations do tend to sell their top players. So we are looking around because that is a definite hole that we need to plug.
So you guys go down to Houston, take on another AL West opponent, the Houston Astros. You guys sweep them, which is fantastic. About time y'all beat some people y'all supposed to beat. And the star of that series had to be Santana with his 12 Ks. He has been the star for you. How do you feel about Santana?
I'm absolutely loving Santana. I remember early on in the year I was kind of debating whether I should trade him or Shields, but Shields gave us more, and we were able to get Dustin Pedroia, who's been a huge asset to us. And I feel like Santana really took on that role of being the ace, and he's helping out the younger guys. And hopefully, you never know what's going to happen in the offseason, but if he keeps putting up the numbers like he's putting up right now, it's going to be great for us going forward.
All right, so you guys sweep the Astros 3-0. That was big. But then you guys travel back home to Kansas City, and all you do is find nothing but trouble. The Los Angeles Angels, they come to town. You guys win 1 game in a 4-game series. Hamilton, Trout, Pujols, the big 3, absolutely dismantled your pitching staff. What are your thoughts on that series, and what can you guys do to improve against the top-tier opponents in the major leagues?
After just sweeping the Houston Astros and then coming home and the fans being so excited and then losing like that in front of our hometown fans, it was a disaster. We needed Band-Aids after that series. It was terrible, absolutely terrible. We get 1 win, but that 1 win was kind of a rarity against this team. This team is very, very high-powered offensively. I feel like if we were to have our guys back and if our guys like Lorenzo Cain or like Moustakas were producing like they should be producing, then maybe we would have a better chance of beating a team like this. But at this stage, we are lucky that we got that 1 win, and we're ready to put that whole series in our rearview mirror, get our guys healthy, and move forward into the season.
Well, hope you guys can improve and get this thing going back in the right direction. You guys have St. Louis up next. Adam Wainwright versus Bruce Chen. Bruce Chen has been balling so far this season. 3 wins, an ERA of 2.4. He's going to take the mound. Hope you guys get a couple of wins versus the St. Louis Cardinals. And I'll talk to you next time. Living for 510. All right, next up, we're going to be talking NBA playoffs with the insider. He's going to be talking about LeBron James, Dwayne Wade, and groupies.
The homestand continues as we welcome in the St. Louis Cardinals and Adam Wainwright to Kauffman Stadium. He's an ace, there's no doubt about it. He's having a great year so far. We need to get at him fast, and we need to get at him early. But on the good side of things, we're throwing out a guy who's established himself late on in his career as a possible stellar pitcher. Bruce Chen, obviously you guys see the statistics. He's having a great year since he kind of stepped into that role as a spot starter just to take over while Aaron Crow was hurt because we needed someone for the last spot. But right now it's looking like we keep Bruce Chen in the starting rotation and we put Aaron Crow back in the bullpen where he has flourished a lot better because his stamina isn't the greatest for a starting pitcher. Their starting lineup, obviously there are a couple people that we got to look out for. Call is a great guy and getting on base, and when he gets on base he creates havoc. We got to keep him off the base pass. But the game starts out with Bruce Chen throwing a circle change away, and guess what, bruh? You're done. So, first better. First strikeout, first out of the game. Bruce Chen looking very, very strong early on with that circle change. That's one of his best put out pitches. Behind Bruce Chen, the defense obviously leaves a lot to be desired. Some people need a rest in this game, and with the injury to Escobar, it's going to be exciting. Obviously, Kane is not in the lineup, and neither is Carter. So we're looking at Pedroia and some other players to get this going. And we need some runs. Obviously, the Cardinals, a great offensive team early on in the year. So first inning, 2 outs, and he gets the strikeout with the curveball right underneath the hands. So Bruce Chen throwing some gas and throwing those little, yeah, you can't see me type pitches, and he gets out of the inning without allowing a run. Now, here's our lineup. Obviously, the averages leave a lot to be desired. Desmond Pedroia has created that little spark up in the top of the lineup that we need while Escobar is out. But at the same time, we need people to produce, especially with Carter out of the lineup. He needs some rest, and with Lorenzo Cain not really producing like we want him to, Hosmer needs to get going if he wants to keep anything, if he even wants to play again in this league. The defense behind them, a very good defensive team in the outfield. And then name that Molina, that's Yadier, and he is a great defensive catcher. It's going to be hard for us to steal bases. Early on in the game, Gordon gets a single, and then Pedroia with his speed actually gets there, so everyone's safe. So now we got a little thing brewing here. We need to get some runs. The National League Central standings, the Cardinals are just running away with this one, it seems like. So we need to prove that we can beat a top team. Butler laces this one in the gap past the second baseman. So now the bases are loaded and no outs. I'm feeling good because, like I said, we need to get on Wainwright fast and early. So Hosmer coming up to the plate needs to get this done. He has been struggling all year, but if he wants to prove something, he needs to get it done right now. 0-2 count, he laces this one. It's going to be a fly ball, but with the speed on the base path, Gordon is actually going to be able to slide into home and score, and Pedroia tries to get home, but then he scurries back to third base luckily. So everyone is safe, but we do have 1 out in the game. And then Pena, unfortunately, after a quick out, grounds out, so we only get 1 run, and we had the bases loaded. That's a perfect example of maybe where Carter or Lorenzo Cain, if he were producing, or Escobar would have come in handy, but it didn't, so we only get 1 run. In the second inning, guess what? Bruce Chen still dealing, gets another strikeout. So now there is 1 away in the second. Bruce Chen absolutely going to work. And then here, he gives up a hit, but Gio Vitella grabs this one, throws it to Pedroia. Pedroia to Butler, and that is a double play. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, and the inning is over. So he gives up 1 hit, but he gets out of the inning from great pitching and great defense behind him. Moving on, offensively, Michael Taylor up the middle. That's a single. This guy has been absolutely amazing for us so far. I'm going to say this, if he keeps producing and Kane doesn't, it's going to be a hard decision to determine who we put in center field. After a quick out, Gordon grounds to second baseman, and unfortunately Taylor's hit doesn't get used. But as we look at the division standings, in our division, this Central, we are holding on to that slim lead above the Tigers, but they are right on their heels. We need to continue winning. That terrible series against Los Angeles did not help our cause. Third inning, 1 out. This one's laced. Taylor, chasing Taylor. Full extension, baby. Top play nominee. That was amazing. I'm going to say this. If he keeps playing defensively like that, because that was one of the things that Kane had going for him, but he's been doing the work. He's been making plays. I don't know. Pedroia takes this one, laces this one for a single, so he's trying to get a little bit more runs because you never know what can happen against this high-powered offense in the third inning. But after 2 quick outs, he steals second base. No, he doesn't. Yadier Molina throws him out. That's something that I talked about. He's a great defensive catcher, and he has a great arm. So in the 4th inning, after Bruce Chen gives up a hit, this one is going to be laced. Taylor is going to be able to get this one and fire to second base to keep the guy at first from advancing to second. But now with the guys at first and second, it's not good. Bruce Chen throws this one in the dirt. Unfortunately, Pena, he does caress this one, so no one scores. But now there's a guy in second and third with only 1 out in the 4th. But Bruce Chen, a beast, gets this one. Pedroia saying no one move, throws to first base to Butler, and we get 1 more out. So 2 outs in the 4th. Bruce Chen, Mr. Clutch, showing why, hey, you know what? He's a surprise this year, and if he keeps pitching like this, he's going to keep earning that spot. 1-0 count. This one lays to Pedroia. Pedroia gets this one, fires to Butler, and Bruce Chen gets out of the inning. Amazingly, and maybe surprisingly, I'm not sure. Bruce Chen, again, in a little bit of a pickle. Again, Taylor is able to get this one, and he actually fires at the third base, but it's a little bit offline. Luckily, no one advances. So in the 5th inning, again, 1 out, guy on 1st and 3rd. Bruce Chen, same pickle. Here we go, 1-2 count. Bruce Chen, thank you very much, boy. Cutter up by your chin. Chin music. Don't even swing, man. If you get them scared, they're just going to swing for self-defense. Nasty, nasty pitch. Now, this is debatable, okay? Bruce Chen obviously has been pitching really well, but his pitch count is getting up a little high, and I don't want someone who, again, has been so stellar for us to get hurt because we have a lot of history, as you guys know, with people getting hurt. So I bring in Joey Devine, who has been pretty good for us this year, and I hope that he can just come in and make the outs and get us through this inning. So, in the 7th inning, he gets 2 quick outs, and then this one is laced into the gap. Taylor is not going to get this one. He gets on his horse, and he's running, but the base runner is actually going to advance to 3rd. He does fire this at a cutoff man, so it's not inside the park home run. I know some of you guys thinking that. So, it's not good, but we only 1 out, and Joey Devine gets this one. Pedroia fires at the Butler, baby, and oh my gosh, 1-0 game. You guys got gray hairs yet? Because I definitely, after Joey Devine gives up a single, Gio Vitello, there's one, fires it to Butler, baby, and there is numero dos. So, he gives up a hit, but he gets out of the inning and still a 1-run game. Now, this was a decision that got a lot of heat everywhere, and the crowd didn't really like the decision. Obviously, Joey Devine pitched really well, but we didn't really. I could go with Holland, but I decided to go with Timmy Collins to try to get the save. It wasn't well received, I guess you could say, from the crowd. You guys hear the booing, but at the end of the day, I gotta go with the guy who I have in that spot for a reason. So, Timmy, don't let me down. This one is smacked, but it's just a loud out as Gordon is able to get there on the warning track to make the play and make the out. So, just a really loud first out. And then this one laced right to Pedroia. He squeezes the glove and gets the out. So now 2 quick outs in the 9th. I'm liking it right now from Timmy. Timmy, thank you. Gracias, senor Pedroia. Now, 0-1 count. This one laced for a single. Taylor is able to get there, cut this one off, and fire it into the infield. But now I'm starting to get extremely pissed off. So, 2 outs. There's already a man on. This one hit hard, but right to Taylor. Taylor gets in position and makes the play. So, he gives up a single, but other than that, he got the saves. Was it luck? You always want your closer to come in and get 1, 2, 3. You know, but at the end of the day, we get the win. Bruce Chen, absolutely amazing as usual. 6.1 innings pitched, 4 strikeouts, no walks, no earned runs. Our offense able to do just enough against Adam Wainwright to get a 1-0 win. He made me look silly Willy the whole game, you know? So the fact that we were able to get 1 run against him, I'll take it. A win is a win against a top opponent. Michael Taylor, great defense, and our defense has actually been improving, which is a good sign for everyone involved. This is exciting.